a USB powered vacuum cleaner. Now, I found this device in a cupboard quite some time ago, and I've been wanting to do a video on this. And yeah, just see if it's any good or not. I think it's not going to be any good at all, but we shall see in due course. Actually, before I start reviewing this, I should probably mention that the last time I tried to do one of these videos, I failed miserably at keeping this in one continuous section. So now I'm just going to make a lot of small clips and then combine them together, Gillian Illett style, I guess. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description below. So let's just get on with this thing. On the back it says that it accepts 5V input with 0.5 amps current, so that's 2.5 watts. I'm glad they did their maths right there. For use, insert the mini vacuum cleaner plug into the USB socket of a computer. Oh, saw that. I'm going to use a power bank. I'm guessing it should be okay, since it's only 0.5 amps. I actually have no actual way of testing that, so we'll just have to believe them. To enable the vacuum cleaner, move the switch to the right. To disable it, to the left. I'm guessing you're referring to this thing. It doesn't really move that well. Oh yeah, it does. I don't think that this would be actually considered a switch by many people, but there you go. 3. Disconnect the mini vacuum cleaner from the computer after cleaning it. So the idea behind this is that you clean your keyboard with it or something. I'm not entirely sure. Warning: do not disable computer while the mini vacuum cleaner is running. That kind of suggests that it's some sort of inductive load in there. Well, of course it's inductive load, it's a motor, but I don't know, I don't actually understand what's going on here. Do not submerge in water, and do not put the working vacuum cleaner above water. Well, that one makes sense. Alright, enough of the instructions, let's turn this thing on. And one thing I'm already noticing that there's a problem is that this end piece doesn't really fit over here that well. I mean, you can try and force it in, but yeah, it doesn't really work that well. And what about the other one? Well, this one fits okay. I don't know how effective that's going to be, but let's just turn on the power bank and plug it in and see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't go bang. Well, the answer appears to be nothing, because it doesn't seem to be doing anything at all. Maybe if we press the switch. Oh yeah, it does work. That's amazing. And there's a little LED in there for illumination purposes. I wonder if I can turn on the LED only, because I seem to remember in some of these models they had an option for LED only. But yeah, this piece doesn't really fit over that well. What's one actually for? Supplied are a brush and a rubber hose thing for cleaning the keyboard. Ah, so you clean the keyboard with both. That makes sense. So let's just test its effectiveness as a vacuum cleaner, and fortunately for that purpose I've got over here some pieces of broken glass from a previous misadventure. So let's just turn it on, and yeah, that's not really working, is it? It's vaguely working. I mean, it has how do you turn this thing on again? Oh, right. it has actually sucked up some bits of solder and broken glass, so yeah, it does technically work, but the problem there is that it's really easy to pour all of that out, especially when these things are supposed to be interchangeable. They're not actually, because this one is broken, but this piece comes off, and this is where you're apparently supposed to clean the filters. I'm not entirely sure about that. Like, you've seen, the instructions are quite vague about that, but yeah, that's what you get for your money. There's not actually a whole lot of your money involved, because if you look here, it says that there's, well, it doesn't say that specifically, but I know that it's distributed by fixed price, and it's a chain of stores that sell items for similar prices. A bit like in the UK, they have Poundland, I believe, and Pound World. That's basically the local equivalent of that, only it's more like 70 rubles line. Right, I'm bored of this now, so let's take it apart. Big Life has actually taken a look at it, as has Ashens, I think. I'll link to their videos down below, but the point is I am actually expecting, I do actually know what is going to be inside, at least I think. I don't think they've changed the design much, because like there's no actual point. So yeah, because Ashens has reviewed it, it definitely has been in Poundland at some point in time, but this here looks really similar, and I think it behaves similarly. Right, this is going to take a while because these screws do not really seem to want to come out. One moment. Right, I've unscrewed that, and there does seem to be a lot of stuff in there. Like, there's your LED and the motor with this sort of, I know what you call that actually, a rotating part to suck the air in. And the motor and the switch, and that's pretty much a lot. One thing I'm not entirely convinced is that if you look here, the LED has its leads soldered directly to the motor, and the motor is controlled by this switch only, which incidentally has 3 positions, but they only use 2. But my point is that this means that they're running the LED on 5 volts, and that's not really a good thing. Draw a schematic of this real quick. It's definitely going to be simple, because you've got your plus and minus, plus 5 volts, 0 volts from the USB connector, going through a motor, and then the LED. But the problem there is that an LED requires about 3 volts to light up. You can't actually see what I'm drawing, can you? The LED requires 3 volts to light up. However, across the LED we have not 3 volts, but 5 volts. And where are those extra 2 volts going to go? They're going to be dissipated in the wiring, and the wiring is so tiny I don't think it's going to survive a lot of use. And also, if you run an LED on higher voltage, basically the chip inside the LED starts to dissipate the power. I wonder if we could calculate that actually. Well, I don't know actually how to calculate this, because the LED is being overrun, so equations that we normally use don't apply here. However, I'm just going to use a multimeter that is completely reflecting off the lamp. Let's just turn that off for a moment. I'm going to use a multimeter set to the current range. I'm guessing to 200 milliamp range. Just reconnect the lead to that position and cut the LED lead so that we can see how much current is being drawn through it. Because like if it's more than 200 milliamps, then it's probably has it should not have worked in the first place. So can you actually see that? You can probably see that if I prop it up on this. Yeah, you can sort of see that. So let's just bring in the power bank back again and hook it up and what just happened? It just spun for a moment and then stopped. Apparently the power bank doesn't really want to turn on with this thing connected. Well, that's fine. Let's just turn it on now. Oh, that's interesting. When you connect this up, it apparently immediately kills the power. Well, that was unexpected. Apparently it's only one of the USB connections is broken. Right, so if you've learned one thing today is that you should not run motors when they are loose. So I've just taped that on here and let's just plug it in again. The motor shaft isn't obstructed, that's good. So let's just plug it in and see what we get on the LED. Oh no, the motor shaft is obstructed, so let's just nudge that a little bit up there, because we don't really want to skew the readings too much by lowering the voltage. So let's plug it in again, and it kills the power. Brilliant. So now the motor shaft is not obstructed in any way, but I have managed to snap off one of the leads for the motor from the switch, so I'm just going to have to resolder it, and that's a worry. Alright, so I've resoldered the connection over here. I have bypassed the switch because it's so tiny I can't actually solder on it, but this will do because like I don't really need that switch. So let's just bring in the power bank once again and plug it in and just see if it's working or not. And the answer is it does not, because it kills the power to the power bank. Oh no, it does not. How do you actually turn this off then? The answer by pulling this out, I presume. Yeah, it's actually quite a powerful motor in there. The only problem with it is I'm not really sure if it's being overrun or not. And in motors I can't actually check, but with LEDs I can, and that would be by sticking this down once again, just so that it doesn't wreak havoc on everything around, and measuring the current flowing through the LED. It's reading through, yes it is. So now I'm bringing the multimeter. You can't actually see it because of the camera lens. I wonder, yeah, you can probably see this even though it's reflecting the sunlight, and unlike the lamp I can't actually turn that off, so I'm just going to put one connection on there, one on there, and see what we can see on the multimeter. So that's now running, and I don't really like the noise. I think it is still obstructing it's because I don't really want it to pull the voltage down a lot. Yeah, this isn't going too well. One moment, please. Right, so I've managed to put it into a position where it doesn't immediately break, and now let's just measure the current through the LED, and that is, if I can get a good connection there, I can't actually because it's vibrating like hell. And I don't want to short out the main supply because, like, it's a power bank. Don't really like being shorted out, but the current through the LED is 10 milliamps. It's really 10 milliamps though. I can't actually check because it's pulsing. And it's pulsing because the motor is vibrating. So the current, you probably didn't see that. But the current was 12 milliamps. But that doesn't really make sense because I'm just going to write this down here for a moment. 5 volts at 12 milliamps. Because I thought that they would run the LED at a higher current because, like, there's no resistor in series, but actually touching this now, I am feeling that the motor is getting quite hot, and that is also a concern with a device that is especially designed to suck in dust and therefore obstruct the airflow through it. Although I suppose these grills could help somehow, maybe, I don't know. But what I do know is that apparently, since there is no current limiting resistor on the LED, they're kinda relying on the resistance of the lead. I'm not convinced by that, but they do sell these. So overall, I'm not entirely sure what to make of this, because for your 60 rubles, which is currently about equivalent to $1 American, you get a motor, an LED, a USB lead of dubious veracity, and a switch which immediately breaks after you've desoldered it. This is very cheap. Did you notice? Like, really, I don't think that this would actually work for its intended purpose of cleaning. Well, it would technically work for some time, but due to that the motor is getting quite warm, I'm not sure that it will survive for long. Certainly they don't suppose that you'll use it for long, but yeah, this is much simpler than I've seen Big Clive do, because his version included a voltage regulator, which he initially thought was a transistor, I believe. You'd better check out the video in the description below, because they really have changed the design for the worse.